All right, military brat beginnings. It's time to knock out a couple little bio pieces. I think they will help serve as a foundation for a lot of these stories and understandings. But hopefully, we can make it a little more entertaining than just I was born and then I did this, like those biographies you had to read in English. So I made a map. So let's just kind of knock it out. I think what's entertaining is I was born into a military family, but it was one of the ones that we moved around a lot. Not as much as some, but more than most. And this is kind of the foundation of everything, not just me, but also the stories and everything that happened. So let's kind of take this whirlwind tour. So I was born in California, moved to Arizona, then Kansas, then Florida, then we went to Virginia. Virginia is where Uncle Spud started rolling. So from there, we went to Spain, and then from Spain to Germany, Germany to Egypt, did a short stint, went back to Connecticut. From Connecticut, we went back to Virginia. All this was all up until middle school. So we've been busy already. All right, so from Virginia, we rolled all the way over to the Philippines, did some high school in the Philippines, and then this is our crazy whirlwind run from Mount Pinatubo and the volcano. So if you haven't checked out the volcano one, you may want to check that one out. Back to Virginia, Virginia to Hawaii, Hawaii to back to Virginia, Virginia to North Carolina, and then from North Carolina went to Georgia, and then back to North Carolina, and then from there to Utah, Utah to LA, LA to Utah again, and then Utah back to LA. So that's just the moves. And so when I say I moved around a fair bit, and I'm not talking about, getting a new apartment down the street because my lease was up. So all in all, this is 20 either interstate or international moves. There's some in there that like I left out, and there's some that I kept. So it's just ballpark 20. We're not, it's not totally keeping score, but it was a fair bit of moves. And then while we were in these places, or while I've been living in these places, I think as a result of this, obviously there's a couple different ways you could go. I basically turned into the person who loves to travel. Just like Grandpa, I had a wanderlust. I love going to new places. I love meeting the people and the culture and all that stuff. And so, fortunately, while we were in these places, a lot happened, and we were able to travel and do things there. So if we take a look at Spain, from Spain, we were able to jump off and visit a whole bunch of places like, France and Austria and all that kind of stuff. As a result of being here during these years in Spain and Germany, I actually learned to play football, soccer, in Spain and Germany, and I learned to ski in Austria because that's what was available. That's where we went. So from Germany, went to a whole bunch of fun places and things like that. Again, even from the U.S., when we went back there, Grandpa used to take us fishing in Newfoundland, of all places, like just way out in the middle of nowhere, Newfoundland, Canada. And then, because he had some connections up there that we could go do that for relatively next to nothing. And then had a chance to go visit Russia for a while. And then, a lot of travel around, just from while I was doing consulting work, I would get frequent flyer miles, and I would use those to fly to wherever. And then once we started getting back to LA, and I, we had a chance to go spend some time in Africa, which is cool. And then and then a lot of travel now happens just from LA and California, because we spent a lot of time here. And also this is when kite surfing started, and you're chasing the wind. And so you find there's a lot of cool places to go that have cool people and great wind. And so I've been fortunate enough to travel a lot for that. Spent time in various parts of South America, and then you rolled with us to China. I had an awesome, amazing trip through Southeast Asia, backpacking and stuff like that, and visited all this stuff. So all in all, this is kind of the score right now. 20 moves. I've been to 47 of 50 states. I'm missing Alaska, North Dakota, and Oregon of all places. I've been to Alaska. I spent a day in Alaska, but I'm not counting it. I was only there because a piece of the wing fell off when I was traveling to one of my trips. So that's not the way I wanted to do Alaska. I'd love to go visit Denali and some other places up there. And so all in all, we have the 20 moves, and I have somewhere in the ballpark of 35-ish countries that I've visited and 47 states. Now, there's a lot missing. Like, there's a lot of cool places left in the world you can see by looking at this map. You know, I'm super excited to get to places like Australia and New Zealand. I definitely would love to hit Scandinavia and Iceland. And so there's basically a lot of really cool places that I have not had a chance to go yet. And obviously, if you're watching this and you have a place that you would highly recommend, knowing what this looks like and this love, please don't hesitate to send me a note, because I am definitely making a list and I am prioritizing it and trying to get some time to go do some of these things. So, but that is a quick biography of kind of how I traveled and where I went. Every single one of these places, most of the lines I drew, I didn't draw them all, but most of the ones that I specifically drew, I drew because they serve as a basis for either a life development moment or a story or something that you're potentially going to hear about in future videos. So thanks for checking it out, and I will catch you all on the next Living Freestyle.